considering they have holdovers from Alex Monis with New England, Kasule, and Sawada both coming in from the Red Bull 2 organization. Defensive mishap with Boston Berry and Nolan up top, leading the way in the 4-4-2 for Gianni Cimini. One of 6 games being played today on the Saturday slate of Week 11 gets underway here at and that goal didn't even come from one of their regulars. It was Kervon Kerr coming off of the bench. So just the overall inefficiencies by some of the starters from Toronto as Connecticut look to strike. Tangle up in the area, continuing to push ahead. Laurie Goddard unable to make anything go. He's got Ibrahim Kasule and Alex Monis, the trio offensively for Shavar Thomas. Goddard continuing to pressure. Spent the last couple years with Hofstra. Coughed up. Connecticut. Monis to center. It's up in the air and recollected by Knuckley. You already see some of the threat that those 3 can provide, especially for guys like Laurie Goddard and Alex Monis. Monis spent the last 2 years with New England Revolution second team as this one rolls in the direction of Knuckley once again. Zachariah Knuckley, 6 starts in next pro. 10 goals allowed across those 6. Connecticut continued to pressure Toronto on their own end before a whistle puts things to a halt for the time being. Monis gets dropped. CTU still pursuing. Gomez, wide side. Ricochet. Monis doesn't go. Second try is off the line. Applewhite was there, as was Monis. Applewhite with the touch, but Knuckley keeps it out. It's been 4 attempts for CTU, 1 attempt by Toronto, and that's how things come to an end in the first half. It wouldn't just be their first win since mid-March, it would also be their first win at a home venue, as we are back in business for the second half between CTU and TFC II. The good news for Toronto is that this is already a much better defensive showing than their last couple of matches. But that sentiment might be shared differently when considered the last time out versus New York. You had 2 goals in the second half that went against them. In the middle, still loose, back and forth, outside it goes, Dixon couldn't get it through. This is probably the first big, dangerous opportunity for Toronto all game, forcing the first Rankenberg save by... So Gianni Cimini will bring in Diego Brito and Tristan Bleth. Noe Brito, 17-year-old from Montreal. And then Tristan Bleth, 17-year-old Japanese midfielder. Centering feed, sliding. The attempt is not there whatsoever. So the two changes will come in the midfield for Toronto with Bryce Bonneau and Cheyenne Pinnock making the respective exits. Making his way through, Perdomo trying to force the issue. Just barely keeping it in play was Knuckley, who hasn't had a lot of action in the second half after being harassed and swarmed in the first half. Only one attempt, one on target for Connecticut in the second half. Toronto have already doubled up on the first half attempts. Slithering through, Dixon. Drop down, back up. Sawada collects. Paisho bodies off his man. Paisho with one man to beat. Waits for help, goes to center. Van Nix couldn't get there. Van Hees got blocked. Back for Paisho. Across again and stopped by Knuckley. The rebound is there again. Van Hees trying to force it. And exactly that, trying to force it as he lost his handle. Colinaris bodies Bostonberry. Kerr. He lost control. Stevenson steps into play. The center back looks to start the offense as Paisho could not get the better of Reed Fisher in the final 15 of the second half. Very clearly things have escalated, but it's been a very low event game, all things considered. Just the 5 shots on target in the whole game, and three of those came in the first half. Connecticut coming off of a 0-0 draw themselves, where they did get the extra point on New England. First win of any kind since mid-March. What a ball. Steven Serwada all by himself. Serwada centers. Paisho just missed. A golden opportunity for CTU to bust this game wide open. Paisho through the 5-hole. Collected, Bleth on the far side, still has it, in play, and that is off of Rankenberg and out for Toronto corner. Look at Bleth getting away from the contact from Madronda. Low, ricochets off the line and in! A double deflection finally gets past Gunther Rankenberg. And Diego Brito gets the first goal of the game. Only the second appearance for Diego Nue Brito. He is right on the doorstep after the first ricochet in the area and gets it past Rankenberg. In the closing 5 minutes of the match, Brito up. it's been at minimum 4 consecutive halves. They haven't scored since the 19th minute a couple of games back against Philly Union 2, which was the game prior to the last one they played against New England. But in the dying minutes of the second half, they need anything to keep their opportunities of preserving points alive. It was Fortier who got the touch as Brito got the final touch in. But it's kept in by Connecticut. Strike from distance is just wide. A crack from distance by Ernesto Gomez, but it took a nick along the way, so it'll be Connecticut's second corner of the second half. Swung in, bobbled around, couldn't get the strike, was Paixão. And that forced the issue of Chisholm as he smashes it out of play with Sawada encroaching. 5 extra minutes are on the board. There is still hope for CTU. They have not scored in 4 halves. Chisholm sends it down, kept in by Camerath. Distance try is well missed. It did force the dive from Nuckley. Zachariah Nuckley on the year 2-3-1. He did win in back-to-back starts. However, he has done a great job washing. Up the gut. Stevenson lost his footing. Toronto find an outlet. Oh, how did that stay in play? Kodry on Rankenberg, gets around and in! Kodry calls game as Toronto find their second in stoppage time. Back-to-back goals from the bench. You had Diego Brito just before the 90th minute. Remains if CTU can score on this attempt. Would they get extra time on top of that? Their 7th corner goes low. Toronto will take possession. And Connecticut seemingly touched it last. Kasule hustles to it, forcing Culinaris upward. Madronda. Keeps it for Connecticut. Into the box, twirling away. Paixão falling, block, rebound, and another save by Nuckley. Toronto take the game and are back to 500. 2 goals at the death to claim the full 3.